My name is Cameron Compton. I'm 19 years old, and the date is March 14th, 2019, and I'm at my home in Grantham, New Hampshire, here with...
My name is Frank Compton. I'm 80 years old. Today is March 14th, 2019, and I'm at my granddaughter's house in Grantham, New Hampshire.
So, what narrative helped shape your identity and why?
In the mid-1930s, my father had just graduated school and was assigned to a work crew to tend fields down in Miami, Oklahoma. Directly next to the field that my father was working was a Native American tribe. It was a Cherokee Indian tribe of which my mother was a part of. As a responsibility of being part of the tribe, they would bring water to the field workers. It was during the summer, directly after my father had graduated high school, that he had met my mother when she was bringing him water. Over the course of that summer, obviously something blossomed between the two of them, and after a few months, my father had met up with my mother in the middle of the night, and after they met up, they drove directly to California. Essentially, they eloped from their family, and that's where they spent the next 4-5 years, and both my brother and I were born while we were living in Pasadena, California.
Do you believe this had a positive or negative impact on you?
I believe it had a very positive and significant impact. It's certainly on my early life, but as Gary and I grew older, both my mother and father decided that it would be best to be back around family, and so we relocated back to Missouri. So even more positive impact on my life.
Do you think it had a positive or negative impact on your parents?
I think that it had a positive impact on my parents in the sense that they knew in order for them to be together that they were going to have to run away. And obviously when they ran away, they were faced or were forced to depend on one another, and certainly shaped the strength of their relationship and their marriage.
Did they reconnect with their families?
When we moved back to Joplin, we actually settled into one of my father's great aunt's houses while my father built the only home we ever grew up in Joplin after we moved back from Pasadena.
What stands out the most to you about this story?
I think what I take away from this story, or stands out the most to me, is essentially the cliche of love conquers all, or love overcomes any obstacle. I think they faced insurmountable odds, and really the cost of being shunned completely by my entire mother's side of the family. And I will tell you, even though I cited it was had a positive impact, it was years after we still relocated back to Missouri for my mother's family to really have any involvement whatsoever.
What emotions for you are associated with this personal anecdote?
I think that when I think back on it fondly, it brings back happy thoughts. I think we had a really adventurous childhood. We traveled a lot. They established enough roots in the time that we were in California that we would go back and visit frequently. And I think back, and those were very happy times in my childhood.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you, sweetheart.